Alright, time to head back to the arcade. Let's see. I already talked about this one as well. Alright, this one. Let's go with this today. Giga Wing is developed by Takumi Corporation and published by Capcom, released on the arcade in February 22nd, 1999. Takumi on paper may sound like a complete stranger, but for every arcade enthusiast out there, they definitely recognize Towerplan, a household name in making shmups. One of them, of course, belongs to the Intergalactic Space Arcade. Anyway, when Towerplan went bankrupt, most of the members moved out to form their own company. One of them is the eventual Takumi, who went on to release some of the most memorable shmups. Giga Wing is no exception. I will be looking at the Dreamcast version for this video. Why? Because 1. I don't own a Dreamcast, but the console still deserves some attention. 2. The game difficulty is more balanced. And 3. There is a rapid fire button, which is a godsend. The story of Giga Wing takes place in a steampunk era in which the people there are currently engulfed in a war. The war against destiny. No, seriously. Once upon a time, there's this medallion created by the god. Which god? The Giga God. Okay, that's terrible. It has the ability to create and destroy life. And when it fell onto the hands of someone evil, the war for survival is on. So yeah, we have to fight against a golden medal along with whatever he or she wants to create. Definitely did not steal the idea from Raiden. You start the game and choose between 4 available pilots that have different backstories respectively. In addition, if you play with 2 players, 2 of the characters will be able to interact with each other, forming a new storyline to increase replayability. But because I don't have friends, I will just stick with single player. Giga Wing, not Kilobyte Wing, is basically your typical shmup. Shoot everything, finish off the boss, and most importantly, survive till the end. You know the drill. But the medallion trying to break us apart is not a drill. Time to get serious. You collect power up to increase the rate of destruction and find bombs to unleash spectacular scenery. So what's new? Well, Takumi not Tofu took this game to the next level. They implemented a blazing feature codenamed Reflect Barrier, which is awesome as hell. See those bullets? Well, in normal cases, you would move around them, but here, Giga Wing is like, no, you are not running away from the problem. You face them head on. By holding down the fire button for a few moments, Mega Man style, your plane will deploy a force field that repels enemy bullet back onto their direction. Hey, you know, in badminton, where they have to keep hitting the shuttle back and forth at their opponents? Yeah, same concept here. Every time you see a group of bullets coming at you, well, don't be panicked, but instead, put your trustworthy finger to the ultimate test. Push it down and watch the magic unfold in front of you. Like I said, other shmup force you to run away like your ex, but here, you are encouraged to fight them like a boss. It's even better as the reflection can be used all the time, giving you the chance to turn the round table around. As a result, the gameplay is so fluid, so intense, and so rewarding when you are able to master it. The core element is so easy to understand, and considering the enemies don't have the feature, consider yourself lucky. You know what's lucky? You get money as a reward, as every time you decimate the enemy, they drop a big amount of medals for you to collect. Every single one of them are hiding medals and you shoot them down to collect their loots. This may sound like a war crime, but when you think about how the Medal of God trying to annihilate us, morality doesn't exist anymore. Hashtag Giga Wing, war crime is okay. Not only the gameplay is satisfying, but the accompanying levels are also worth mentioning. Every level really fits well with the theme of steampunk. The atmosphere may look retro and old-fashioned, but the technology seen everywhere are futuristic to say the least. In this level, you are traversing a railway but then enters a blue ocean. No submarine to be seen here, by the way. You then fly across the canyon before infiltrating a base, and hey look! A nice callback to Capcom early Shmup. You then fly across the clouds and then watch as a tomahawk hit the city. See, there is no mercy in war. It's a collision of power. How about this one, where we fly through the shattered skies with floating island that defies logic, etc. The level design along with the catchy soundtracks gives off a perfect steampunk vibe, and fans of the genre will not be alienated by the game. Giga Wing, not Megabyte Wing, may sound like a perfect game. However, because it is a shmup, there's always the negatives. Just like any other arcade shmups, the game did not take long to give you the middle finger. There are a total of 7 stages, well 6, which I'll explain later. At the beginning, everything seems to be bearable. Enemies aren't that tough, and bosses can be defeated easily. You will be thinking, hey, I can do 1cc easily. But upon entering stage 4, Giga Wing becomes a Giga Pain. From here on, enemies are simply relentless. They will fire a large amount of bullets right at you, and you're gonna have to utilize the reflect barrier according to the right situation. Oh, did I forgot to mention the reflection also have a cooldown system? That means you also have to plan everything strategically, thinking about where to fly and combining both together to even survive the onslaught. Once you do that, only then the game will be tad bit easier. But not for long. Stage 5 is where the game becomes literal hell. You arrive at this Egyptian in the sky. But before you can even admire the architecture, here comes the enemy again! Yay! A bunch of enemies start opening fire at you, and when you think you are safe, here comes another one. And another. And then another one, so on and so forth. There are just so many of them that you can't fully rely on the reflection. You have the bomb, and of course, the ultimate skill to hide from every bullet. Due to this stage, you can go from highly confident to complete useless. At least the game have unlimited continue, and hey, at least the boss isn't that tough. What could possibly go wrong? On to stage 6, which is the final level. This stage is basically the final boss. Your confrontation against the god medal itself, and of course the level will become utterly insane. This thing have different forms, starting with this airship thing, and then his turrets, and finally his tentacles. You're gonna have to remember every bullet pattern while also thinking about when is the right moment to use the reflection, because the boss will not go easy on you. He then becomes a Rubik's Cube, and just like that, the game becomes worse. Hey, you know those shmups made by Cave, like Dotamachi and Diojo? This is giving me the same vibe as well. Bullets are everywhere, you start to be panicked, and you will then run into everything. Yeah, that's the feeling right now. Regardless, we took him down, and that's it for Giga Wing. We saved the world. Or did we? We then watch a short cutscene where the character blows up the medal to save the world, but then he died. Depending on which character you pick, they met the same terrible fate. Remember when I said something about stage 7 earlier? It turns out you need to fulfill a special requirement. Beat the entire game with 1 credit. Yup, 1 credit. That means you have to go from the first level all the way to this not final boss level without using a continue. Then again, what do you expect from a guy that just sucks at shmup? Guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. If you ever finish all 6 levels unscathed, well, you are treated to the TLB. It turns out this mysterious character used to be friend with our character, Stuck. And he's the one that caused all this chaos. And there's only one way out of this. You have to bring a top game. But even if you don't worry though, because the game will not punish you. So feel free to use as much continues as possible. We fight this medal, which of course is pain in the ass. This thing really makes me continue to wonder if Takumi copied Seibu Kaihatsu. Once he's down, time to fight your friend. And the unsung war comes to a close. The world is back to peace again. Forever. And that is Giga Not Terabyte Wing, a really fun shmup from Takumi. Takumi Corporation took the normal shmup concept and improved it to something we never seen before. The whole mechanic of reflecting and attacking is unique for its time, and no other shmups were able to do the same thing. Reflection is really useful for most of the game, giving a chance for players to fight harder. Although later levels can be painful to complete, the already smooth gameplay will let the players come back for more attempts. Due to the success of this game, Takumi made a cool spin-off along with 2 sequels before closing its door. Since then, Capcom inherits the IP and re-released the game as part of the Capcom Arcade Stadium compilation. Unfortunately, seeing that Capcom only cares about Resident Evil or Street Fighter, and when the full moon rises, Mega Man, I don't think there will be a new Giga Wing anytime soon. And there goes another shmup in the arcade memories. Once again, I'm just bad. Despite playing this game for around 3 to 5 years, I'm still rusty. And I don't know why. Doesn't matter if it's Ray Force, Wiper Phase 1, or even Giga Wing. I just couldn't get used to the shmup itself. Man, I feel useless. I don't know if someone else is worse than me. I doubt it. Anyway, I was just gonna play this game again. Thanks for watching.